Oh, as you know, I'm a big Kinda Funny fan.
Yeah.
Phil Spencer joined, head of Xbox, joined Kinda Funny for their podcast this week.
He's always there, getting in the crowd.
I'll tell you what, it was great, and it's great to hear. It's so refreshing to hear executives just be so open and honest. And man, Phil Spencer, he's a real one, man. He games.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
He's the way he talks about games, man. He really loves this art form. Like he really loves this art form. Like
he doesn't sound like a boring executive who's there to be paid to pay, like speak at an event.
Exactly.
To hype their new thing. Right?
Exactly.
Yeah.
Like he grew up with the games. He knows what's up, and I think that reads in Xbox's like approach ever since he took over, because it's all just been consumer friendly. Like everything you would ever want as a gamer, that's what Xbox provides.
Was Phil Spencer in charge of Xbox when they had all that bad news come about
No.
the Xbox One? Okay, so that makes sense.
No.
More sense.
No,
'Cause
that's why Phil Spencer is in charge now.
It was kind of around that time he joined because of the negative reaction.
Well, he's
wasn't
been
it?
at Xbox for years, but yeah,
But
that's
he
why
became that
that's why he got the job, because they ousted the last guy. I forget his name.
Yeah.
But they ousted the last guy because he was not getting it done.
Yeah,
Obviously.
apparently not. Yeah.
No, he threw an entire console generation.
Almost did until it was kind of somewhat salvaged at the end.
Yeah, I mean, yeah.
It had to go in a different direction, but at least it was.
I mean,
thanks
it's
to Phil
just that
Spencer, not as bad as it could have been.
it's just that Xbox is in such a different place, and they run such a different race now. You
They
know?
do, yeah.
So it's just like, oh, okay, whatever. But yeah, it was really, really refreshing to hear him talk. Good. It seems like a really cool guy, really dope dude. You know, so it was cool to listen and just hear him talk about games, and you know, like he was joking with Greg Miller about like Avengers,
But not being good.
No, I mean it wasn't like not being good. He was just joking around that like Greg is still playing Avengers, and he was
okay.
like, yeah, all right, yeah, whatever. But he wasn't like talking trash or anything, because he understands both sides.
Yeah.
So yeah, it was dope. It was dope. It was just dope to hear him talk like that, because you don't get that from the other guys. Like you don't get Miyamoto running around doing things. You don't get. I mean, we kind of got it with Reggie.
He was kind of the first to actually be that personality.
Yeah.
While also representing a company like that.
Yeah, but it wasn't like you would never get him like just like so casual. Like so casual. Like it was always like if he's in front of a camera, he's got a persona on. You know what I mean? Like he puts a mask on. And you know, it's not that like he's being disingenuous. You just know that this is the PR trained, like
Being an entertainer.
Yeah,
Because people that kind of knew he was like that kind of guy.
Yeah, here's what I'm doing and here's what I'm selling and stuff. With Phil, it was more like, I mean, like I could still tell he had his PR, training mask on because he had to.
Anybody in that position has to.
Yeah, you have to. But it was also clear that like he hides it the best. And you don't see, like even like Doug Bowser now. Like we saw him once at one Direct, and we haven't seen him again.
The most noise I've gotten from him is the fact that his name is Doug Bowser.
Exactly.
That's pretty much it.
Exactly. So, anyways, Connor, let's get to it. Let's drop some sense on him. What's poppin', players? Welcome back to the Two Penny Gamescast, episode 52, Connor.
52.
We're
nice.
1 year old this week, Connor. Not a single episode missed.
No, surprisingly.
COVID didn't stop us. Vacations didn't stop us.
COVID almost stopped you.
COVID put me dead in my stopped me dead in my tracks. Let me tell you what.
We were
But
able to get the episode out.
this train keeps rolling on. Let me tell you what. And now we are here. 1 year, no episodes missed. I think we're doing okay.
I think we're doing good too.
I think we're doing okay.
We'll keep up the track as much as physically possible.
Well, we'll do it. I think we're doing an okay job. Anyways, ladies and gentlemen, if you didn't know, every week, me and my good buddy Connor here. Say hi to the people, Connor.
Hey.
And I am your host, Tavin Bothel, by the way. Here, me and my good buddy Connor come to you every week, Monday, 8 a.m. Central Time, and talk to you about the new news in the video game industry. The news you got to know. We come to you with 2 topics each, 2 pennies, if you will, and give you our 2 cents on them. And this week, Connor, we got to put a little asterisk on for the new news. All right. So, long-term listeners of the show will know the show comes out on Mondays. We record on Sundays. Today, Sunday, yesterday, from when you're hearing this, both Skate and Ubisoft have announced on their Twitters that they're showing something tomorrow, meaning Monday, meaning the day you're hearing this. Obviously, we can't read into the future, so we're not going to be talking about those things.
Timing sometimes doesn't just work out.
It's probably just a trailer for Skate, some new IP Tom Clancy thing for Ubisoft. That much is known. Who knows? We're not talking about this week. If it's worth talking about, we'll talk about it next week. But probably not. Or maybe we will. Who knows?
It could be big. It could be the next Splinter Cell game that you would like it to
I don't think it will be. It could be though. Anyways, so this week, Connor. Oh, we didn't even divvy out whose pennies were whose.
I was gonna say that we did not.
Oh,
now
no.
I did send one of the stories.
Yeah. You want that one, or do you want me to take that? I don't.
I'll take that one. I mean, honestly, it's kind of gotten to the point where it doesn't matter.
It doesn't matter.
No,
it doesn't matter. Here, I'll just assign them as we go. Here's what it is. All right, first topic, first penny, your first penny. Here we go, Connor. The Switch better start counting its days, Connor.
Maybe
better start counting its days because Valve has announced their new Steamdeck. Pulling a article from VentureBeat by Mike Minotti. Valve's Steamdeck merges Switch convenience with PC gaming, baby. Valve, today, this is several days ago, has unveiled the Steamdeck. Its portable PC gaming machine. Like the Nintendo Switch, it has support for a dock that will connect the device to a TV. You have to buy the dock separately. You can play games from your Steam library on the machine. The price will start at $400 with 64 gigabytes of internal storage. A $530 model has 250 gigs on an SSD. The $650 model has 512 gigabytes of SDD internal storage and anti-glare etched glass. Each system has a micro SD slot for additional storage. You can find tech specs for the device here, blah, blah, blah. It has 16 gigabytes of RAM and a custom APU Zen 2 plus RDNA2 processor. Its software runs on Steam OS 3.0, which is based on Linux. Systems will start shipping this December in North America and Europe. Valve has worked with hardware before, notably with the Steam Machines PCs and Valve Index VR platform. Hiccups. Along with the usual controller buttons, 2 analog sticks, shoulder pads, and 4 face buttons, the Steam Deck also has 2 touch-sensitive pads that players can use to replicate mouse movements, which can be important for many PC games. It also probably explains the odd location of the analog sticks, as the touchpads are located where they are usually found on a controller. There are also 2 additional grip triggers on the back of the machine. The display is a 7-inch touchscreen. Steam Deck also includes gyro controls, the placement of the analog stick, blah, blah, blah. Okay. So, Connor, let's talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
Steam Deck, let's talk form factor first. Alright?
Yes.
Let's talk form factor. Very unique design, as the article said. Analog sticks pretty high, almost right alongside your face buttons and your D-pad.
Mm-hmm. Along the top rim of the device itself.
Yeah.
Very cutting it close.
Cutting it close, little high. Of course, I can't judge it until, we have hands on, of course. But, I mean, there's a reason controllers have kind of unified and all kind of look the same now.
Yeah,
because they work.
Mm-hmm.
And then we found years ago when the Steam controller tried to modify this and take out the analog sticks completely and just have 2 like little touchpad things that you can use. Sort of what they've added here for that mouse replicate thing, which I think is a very smart idea. They should have added that. That's a good idea.
The perks of having a PC, if you go by a lot of the words PC gamers say, is having the mouse to aim and look around.
Sure. So, granted, I don't think there's enough space on this pad to replicate that. I think you're better off using sticks.
Yes, definitely are better off at that point, which really comes down to, once again, like you said, the feel. Because if it doesn't feel right, that's already a bust. Because that's the thing people are already calling out right now.
Exactly.
No one really seems to have a problem with the device's functions itself, rather just the button placement.
Yeah, button placement is a little weird here. Let me look up some different pictures so that we can go off of, more here. Because I didn't pull up because I've seen a bunch of different images that I was like, oh, that looks interesting. So, most interesting is the sticks are so high. You've got your share buttons, your pause buttons. You've got, it looks like something to put it in lock mode or something. A Steam button, I assume, to open up the Steam store pretty quickly and so forth. I think, honestly, I like how big it looks. I understand that, it's going to make it more difficult to hold. Like, you can kind of, squish your Switch into your pocket, if you take the Joy-Cons off.
Uh-huh.
I know the Switch Lite fits into your pocket pretty easily. This clearly, like, it looks just as big as the Switch, and in fact looks bulkier than the Switch. It's got more meat on it.
With considering what kind of games it's going to be trying to run, makes more sense.
You probably need some more hardware and so forth.
Kind of an inevitable thing to deal with.
And, the extra buttons on the back, definitely appreciated, especially with how many buttons is required for some PC games. You need a lot sometimes.
Yeah.
And I feel like, backpad buttons should have become standard this generation. I don't understand why they haven't.
Mm-hmm.
It's like the biggest, knock I have against the DualSense and even the new Xbox controller, which is just really the old Xbox controller. What's going on with my internet right now?
Anyway, cannot be reached. Besides that, though, the physical feel of what the console will be like, the specs seem kind of bad if you're getting the base version.
Base model definitely like baby's first PC type stuff.
Doesn't have enough space. That's the big problem
no model has enough space. Like at most you're getting what was it, 512 gigabytes?
Yes, but it also does have at least micro SD slots, so you can actually add on to whatever device you get.
Yeah, you can expand. 16 gigabytes of RAM. That's okay.
Mm-hmm.
You're not getting prime PC gaming here, but I think you're getting something optimal.
Yeah.
And
prioritizing the take it on the go system that the Switch has already got going.
Exactly. And it's also worth noting the $400 model does not have the SSD that the 512 and the 650 ones do. So you're looking at your slower load times and stuff. So I think even the $400 model is still it's still got more power behind it, more juice in it than the the base model Switch has. And probably certainly even the OLED model. But it's just if you're gonna go through this, I feel like this is not your first time gamer, I'm getting into games purchase,
No.
Though it's nice to have things on the... Something is up with my fucking internet today. Just not working. Anyways, you're not getting, your first timers here, people who buy this, they know what they're in for.
Mm-hmm.
Though it is nice to have that console experience, put it in the dock, have it go up. Weird that you have to buy the dock separately. Which if you will do a quick Google search, because apparently my computer is useless right now.
Sure thing.
I just love PCs. They're so great. You know what never, stopped working on me, Connor? My PS4, Internet Explorer app.
Did it never? That seems like a lie.
I may have used it 3 times, but whatever.
Yeah, I have a hard time believing that's as efficient.
Anyways. So yeah, overall, neat, cool. I don't know about you, Connor. I would like one, but if I'm gonna dive in, I'm gonna dive in big. I'm gonna get the big $650 model, and then, but at the same time, it's ugh. Do I want to be dropping that kind of money right now for some, how often do I use my Switch? How often do I game on PC? These are questions that you kind of have to weigh and so forth.
Yeah. Real quick, I can't find the price for the dock at the moment. Let me,
okay.
That makes it a little bit iffy.
A little bit iffy.
But I can, regardless of that, I can definitely say I will not be getting the Steam Deck.
No?
Because I do love the maneuverability of the Switch, but I barely use that function at all. I mainly play it at home, even then. Because usually when I'm out and about, I'm not in situations where I'm able to play video games. So if I can't use the Switch for that reason that much, I doubt I'll really be needing this either. Especially because I do prefer the games I already have on the Switch, where I can easily jump in and get out, which, since we don't have this out yet, we don't know how well it functions, and if it can switch from games to games very quickly, or you can minimize or start up games quickly. Until it gets actual hands-on experience and previews, even then, I wouldn't be getting this.
Yeah, and so it's working off of the Steam OS, which, I think probably just if you're familiar with Steam's big picture mode, so it's probably going to be an altered version of that so that it can work real easily with the controller type mindset in mind. And then I'm hoping things like you just Bluetooth a controller to it. You would assume
it does have Bluetooth.
It has Bluetooth, yeah. So there's a lot of things here that instantly you're all right, well that's a point against Switch. That's a point against Switch.
Yeah.
You make a good point of Switch games real easy to jump in and out of. Switch games, Nintendo games fit that model very well with your Marios and your Zeldas and your, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. Whereas, PC, you're getting games like Control, and yes, I know Control can run on Switch through cloud streaming or whatever, but like, you're getting like Doom Eternal. Like Doom Eternal is on Switch, but is anybody playing Doom Eternal on Switch? Mm-hmm. It's a weird choice, bro. Whereas this, it would still make a little bit more sense. Clearly still wouldn't be the optimal way to play games like this, but it's your most optimal portable option.
Yeah, I'm pretty confident that Steam Deck is going to run fine, and it's going to be a very good console.
I am as well. I don't think they would do that, and they've got different SKUs. Like, they wouldn't do that unless they knew what they were doing.
Yeah. I mean, they haven't had the best experience with hardware in the past. I couldn't even remember them when we were talking about it before the show.
Exactly.
So this could be another flop, and they just can't get into this.
But, like, you look at this, and you go, and in your brain, you go, this makes sense. Yeah. Like, you look at it and you go, oh, that's video games. Mm-hmm. When you looked at, like, the Steam controller and it was just touchpads, you were like, is that video games? Like, that's weird.
Yeah.
This, you go, that's video games. It's worth noting, not everything is going to be working, on Steam Deck. At least currently isn't working on Steam Deck. So I'm going to pull a quick article from GameSpot. Darren Bonthius? Sorry, Darren. Steam Deck currently can't run Apex Legends, PUBG, and several other big games by default. Valve's Steam Deck handheld is built around the idea of your personal library of PC games being playable on the go. But there's a caveat to the system. Some of the most popular games on Steam won't be playable on it. According to ProtonDB via PC Gamer, such games as Destiny 2, Apex Legends, PUBG, and Rainbow Six Siege won't be compatible with the pre-installed Steam OS due to the anti-cheat software not activating on the Linux-based operating software and thus leaving players locked out of the multiplayer servers. Valve did mention that it is currently, quote, improving Proton's game compatibility and support for anti-cheat solutions by working directly with the vendors. Although the more drastic solution would be to tinker with the device, delete SteamOS, and do a fresh install of Windows, something which the Steam Deck is completely capable of, and Valve says is entirely up to the user. If that list of currently incompatible games doesn't bother you too much, the good news is that Steam Deck pre-orders will be open from July 16th on Steam's website. The device has already earned plenty of attention as it already has an unusual fan, Tim Sweeney, blah, 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 the CEO of Epic Games. So, kind of unfortunate that all these big games, aren't working, straight out of the box like most console, gamers trying to, have, sort of a middle ground would hope. But, like with most things with PC gaming, there are workarounds. There are ways around this. I think that's actually really great news, and, it's unfortunate that these things don't work. I wish they did work. Hopefully, by launch, it will work. But
and they got the time.
SteamOS has been around for a while, and it has taken a long time for them to get their percentages of compatible games up.
Mm-hmm. Once again, if they are able to get it work even, who's to say it won't have a bunch of bugs that other games might also have.
And problems and so forth.
Yeah.
But it's worth noting that there are workarounds. You can go, you can go and install Windows and stuff. This actually opens the floodgates for more than just Steam. Mm-hmm. You're looking at your Xbox Game Pass. You're looking at your Origins. You're looking at your Epic Games, and the Epic Games Store. So, they even say in this article here, Tim Sweeney has already been like, hey man, this is fucking dope. Like, there's a lot of potential here with this Steam Deck, man, and I'm very excited for what it means. Is it going to do something like kill the Switch? I don't know. It's a lot more, it's a lot more expensive, especially if you're wanting one of those higher end models. It's, twice as much of a Switch. Mm-hmm.
Also, Switch seems to be something that kids can use, whereas this maybe not as kid friendly.
This is geared more towards your
pro gamers.
Yeah, your pro gamer. This is geared more to your less casual video game fan. This is someone who would probably plays most or every major release, or at least tries to. This is somebody who dives into the indie market and plays a bunch of indie games and so forth. This is somebody who really jumps around and probably has their hands in a couple of different honeypots. Like you and I do. Whereas the Switch, it's like, yeah, I'll buy one for my fucking kid and get him to shut up for a little while. Or, it's like, hey, I'll play it, and sometimes the kid will play it, and so, and there's a little more of a family dynamic here. This is much more, this is my machine type, mentality. I'm pretty up on it. I would like to have one, but again, That's kind of expensive.
Yeah, the price tag. You look at it, despite all the good things that can come from this, and you kind of, stretch out your collar a bit.
Yeah, and then I do the same thing you just said, where it's like, I mean, how much do I play my Switch in mobile mode? I'm probably somewhere around 50-ish%, but that's only because I don't play Switch that much. Like, I load it up for some Smash Bros. I load it up for the occasional, like, Hades run or something, or when something is big, like Hades comes to Switch, I'll play it. The Zelda Skyward Sword remaster just came out, so I'll probably be loading up my Switch this week and playing that.
Yeah. For something like this, I would actually prefer to buy a VR machine before I do this.
And these are kind of choices we have to make of where we want to go. The only difference is like, even though I think VR is going to be an established pillar in gaming, this one is already established. So there is going to be long-term support for something like that. Well, at least you would hope there's going to be long-term support. That entirely depends on Valve. But, if I buy this machine and I can get workarounds, like, this might be what I use to play Xbox games, for example, with through Game Pass and so forth, instead of loading it up on my PC and having the issues of certain files not working correctly or so forth, somewhat and so forth, and I mean, you know how that goes. Sometimes you got to troubleshoot your video games for hours before you're able to play it. It's fucking annoying as shit.
Which on mobile could just bring more problems than's worth dealing with.
It could lead more issues, but I mean, this is probably just a functional PC, without all of the accoutrements of a computer.
Yeah, it'll probably have it definitely won't have all the pros of an actual PC, but probably not all the cons as well. Exactly. Or at least ideally it would.
I think we're meeting a very good middle ground here. And, if someone is like all about this and dives deep, I get it. If someone is like, it's not doing it for me, I get that too. But I'm more up on it than I am down, and I'm very interested to see how people feel about it when they get their hands on it. Again, form factor is a bit of a question mark here because they're playing with the design of the controls here. Plenty of grip space, which I like that. Plenty of place for your palms to go, which is something the Switch doesn't have. Some people even buy attachments for Switch so that it can fill out in their palms more.
Yeah.
I bought a couple of grips for my PlayStation Vita back in the day, but I never used them long term just because it always felt plasticky and it felt cheap, and they often, these grips always feel cheap. So it's nice to see like, hey man, there's like some space for your palms to go built in already. And then I think things like, obviously, like, there's no, like, removability of the controllers, like, with the Switch Joy-Cons. Like, those things are there to stay. So you assume, like, the one-to-one is probably great. No
drip problems?
That'll help with form factor and stuff. I saw headlines going around of, like, they're shooting for 0 analog stick drift or anything like that to happen. It's really, my only really concern with form factor is just the distance between sticks and buttons. They're so close together, and the sticks are so high up. That I'm like, and I even look at the design and I go, why didn't we put the speakers in a different place and move everything down so that I could have that kind of, but then now that I say it out loud and I think about it, the touchpad for the mouse, like the mouse pad or whatever that is where analog sticks usually are. So maybe if we move everything down, well, now the touchpads are way out of the way and now I can't reach it, without like twisting my hand and feeling uncomfortable doing it. So maybe this is like a workaround to where like this is the most comfortable option to get to all 3 important layers: the mouse pad, the analog stick, and your buttons. I also like that there's mouse pads on both sides.
Yeah. Looking around, moving.
They're instantly like, even Nintendo struggles with this with like the first couple of SKUs of 3DS where there was 1 analog stick and then they moved on and there's two analog sticks on like the new 3DS, isn't there?
Well, there's like this weird little like small button at the top right-hand corner that functions as a C-stick.
Oh, fuck that. Okay.
I like it.
Oh, dude.
It's good for control. I played some of Xenoblade on there.
Yeah.
And it's easy to move the camera.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
All right. Well, so, and then I guess this is like a share button and then a pause button, and I don't know what this button is, and then there's a Steam button. Like,
I mean, you could probably post like clips of you playing onto social media,
like
fun stuff like that.
A screenshot button or something. Like, so yeah. I don't know, man. There's a lot, and then the whole like screen is touch sensitive as well, which works in this generation of iPhone users and so forth, and smartphone users, and how that has grown the mobile market. Mobile games will work perfectly on this. It won't feel like you're playing a mobile game like that has been like awkwardly ported. Like you'll just play the fucking mobile game the way it was intended to play. Yep. So yeah, I mean, there's a lot to be like positive about. There's just a couple of question marks that I want answered before I dive deep. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. Before you start heavily considering actually getting it in the first place.
Exactly. Yeah, and also I'm 23. I'm trying to go to college. I got other investments that I'm trying to figure out and do and stuff. And so life is expensive, man. So it's like may not be the best time. And I just bought a PlayStation 5.
Yeah.
Maybe not the best time to like invest in another toy.
Yeah, exactly. Not the point where I would either.
Exactly. Moving on, let's go into my first penny of the day. Topic number 2. Persona 6 development confirmed by Atlus. Pressure to surpass P5. Article from Game Rant by Keen Sullivan. Of the many iconic ongoing JRPG series, Persona is one that has existed for a long while, but only came into mainstream popularity fairly recently. Following the launch of Persona 5, the Persona series expanded to new heights, allowing for a variety of spin-off games and ports of older games in the franchise. However, it seems that development on a new Persona installment has been all but confirmed. Given Persona's explosion in popularity, Atlus, the studio behind the series, has made Persona its top priority. This has led to the release of offshoot-style games like Persona 5 Strikers, Persona 5 Dancing in Starlight, and even Persona 5 anime adaptation. It's worth noting, like, they do this with Persona games. Like, Persona 3 and 4 got this treatment as well. Yeah. It's just nobody cared.
3 was a movie, but 4 was also...
Didn't 3 got a spin-off game? Or 2?
Oh, spin-off game. I thought you were talking the movies. The anime stuff. Okay.
Yeah. Yes. And then...
But it is important to know that Persona 3 only got it because Persona 5 was also coming out. They kind of announced them at the same time.
Oh, really? Well, Persona 5 has an anime adaptation. It's got episodes and so forth that you can watch.
Yeah, it does.
Yeah. And then there's several spin-off Persona 4 games, and I know there's at least one Persona 3 game. There's like a fighting game or something, isn't there? That's what they usually do, a fighting game and a dancing game, and then...
The way it worked is it was Persona 4 came... I don't know what came first, the Persona 4 fighting game or dancing game, but the fighting game also had Persona 3 characters in it.
Oh, okay.
It was kind of like story-tied. And then 5 came out with their own dancing game, and 3... got a dancing game announced.
Because, I mean, the article is correct in saying that, like, Persona 5 really gave it its explosion, but Persona had buzz in the West prior to Persona 5. I think most marketably, Persona 4 Golden on Vita gave it a lot of eyes. Granted, like, Vita wasn't the most successful handheld in the world, so, you're limited in that space, but... It gave it a lot of eyes. I mean, Persona 4, even when it came out on PlayStation 2, it had some Western eyes on it, but definitely not to the level it is now. Now, I would say it's mainstream. Like, it's working its way towards being alongside Final Fantasy. In terms of mainstream, popular Japanese RPGs.
It takes one.
It just takes one. And, Persona 5 was the one. So, good on that. Great game, Persona 5. Anyways. Though... Before the massive amount of success the series garnered, it was rumored that Persona 5 would be the last game in the series. Now, it appears that has changed. Following a job posting made by Atlus to recruit more game developers, the post mentioned a desire for Persona 6 to surpass Persona 5. Director Naoto Hiroka has previously commented saying that the next step has been taken when asked about the prospect of Persona 6. Thus, it seems like Persona 6 is at the very least in the planning stages of development. However, Hiroka has also mentioned that there is a lot of pressure in terms of surpassing Persona 5, especially with an understaffed development team. In the past, Atlus made it a priority for the Persona games to one-up each other with each new installment. Persona 4 had to surpass Persona 3, Persona 5 had to surpass Persona 4, some would say it didn't. And now, it seems Atlus wishes for Persona 6 to surpass Persona 5. Wow, the prospect of Persona 6 surpassing Persona... God, take a shot every time I've said Persona. Is a nice prospect. It's also an ambitious one. 5 managed to improve upon its predecessor in terms of visuals, gameplay, and quality of life features that made sense in terms of ushering the series into a modern age. But that also presents an interesting challenge. For how much Atlus has done to perfect the formula of Persona, it's hard to imagine what else the studio can do in terms of improving upon what has been established in 5. Then again, fans of P4 Golden likely found it hard to believe how Atlus could improve upon what was established in the previous game. Back before 5 was first announced. Now, Persona 5 is one of the greatest contributing factors to the series' current success, although right now, there's no telling what 6 will look like. With any luck and information regarding the upcoming Persona entry will be revealed in time. Now, something this article doesn't touch on that I saw circulating throughout the week is that they've announced, I believe, 7 announcements to take place because it's Persona's 25th anniversary, 35th anniversary, 25th.
25th, okay.
25th anniversary this year. So throughout this next calendar year, starting, I believe the first one is in fall of this year. The first announcement going in. No, the first announcement's like sometime this summer or something. I forget. They've got 7 big announcements coming. That they're sprinkling throughout the next calendar year. You assume things like some more PC ports and so forth of older Persona games, and maybe some compilation titles, maybe some more anime stuff happening, maybe it's like some box art or box collection type stuff is happening. Who knows?
Could be anything.
Could be anything. I'm really hoping for like some kind of Persona compendium in which like it's like here's 3 through 5 and every spin-off game involved and $200.
That'd be a pretty big thing.
That'd be great.
Yeah.
I would fucking love that. That's a lot of content.
I know that a lot of people want a.
That's a dream, though. There's no way that would happen.
Yeah, that's a tall order to fill. But I do know people want a new fighting game because the 4 Persona fighting game was very well liked, very very well liked.
Yeah,
obviously didn't make as much money as something like Persona 5 did, not even close. But maybe with the new attention that the Persona series has gotten, that would also come in with any other ports that
I think Persona 5 Strikers was met with variable success. I think people, everyone was kind of like, okay, this is not the best game in the world, but it's good.
No, yeah.
It
had fun character moments with the Persona 5 characters, so
exactly.
It kind of gave what people wanted.
Sure. In that fan servicey type of way.
Yeah.
And then I think clearly that final announcement is probably Persona 6.
Yeah.
You would assume, like, especially since they're already like, we're kind of working on something Persona related. Connor, you as a fan of these old JRPG games and Atlas games, how do you feel about Persona kind of overtaking Shin Megami Tensei?
Well, I never actually played Shin Megami Tensei.
Oh, you haven't? Oh.
No. I'm not as experienced with Atlas.
Because I'll tell you what, SMT5 did not impress me in that Nintendo Direct.
Didn't impress me at all.
That game does not. That looks like Persona, but with way less style.
Funny enough, some of my friends recently gave me a copy of SMT, like Soul Hackers, their favorite Shin Megami Tensei game that apparently is very, very well liked. Mm-hmm. So I'm about to get into that area of those kinds of games.
Yeah.
But I've never played them. My first Persona game in general was 5, along with many other people. I
fucking newbie.
Yeah, newbie.
Fucking bandwagon.
Yeah, bandwagon all the time. That's all I do. I'm bandwagon. But Shin Megami Tensei games, they're harder to get. You can't really play them as much, and people have kind of seen them go by the wayside because they were big back in the day, and now Persona's overtaken it. And that's just the way things are. And since I don't really have any connection to those kind of games, I can't really deny that Persona series has been more successful than Shin Megami Tensei.
At least out here in the West.
At least out here,
probably
even in Japan, I think Persona is still more popular.
I mean, I think there's a reason that we've gotten more recent Persona games than SMT games.
Yeah, it's got their audience, and I may play 5 if it comes out to be this amazing game, but
Anyways,
this is just the way things are going to go.
I'm excited. I love Persona. Persona 4 Golden, like my top 3 favorite video games of all time. I forget where exactly I put it in the list. It changes day to day.
It was high up.
It was very high. One of the few games to make me cry.
Yeah.
Oh God, I fucking love that game. And God, I need to go back and play 3. But I think just the style of Persona, man, it captures people, man. Like, and those characters are always interesting and fascinating. I personally would like to see Persona just grow up a little bit. Just a little bit. Keep that same kind of jovial spirit and tone, but like, let's dive in a little bit. Let's be a little less childish with our characters.
More darker, I would agree.
Not darker, but just realer.
I remember the best...
And I don't mean realistic. I don't mean grounded. I just mean let's have more real moments with our people, and let's not turn everything into a joke like Persona tends to do.
Yeah, I guess that darker comment doesn't make sense when you consider some of the interactions the character had were kind of.
I mean, it's the same series where you gotta have your little animal mascot.
Yeah,
you gotta.
Yeah, but they tone back on it, please. Please tone back on it. I hate them. I hate the concept of Japanese mascot characters. It's actually one of my least favorite concepts to ever come out of Japan. I
don't love Morgana, but Teddy's great, man.
I know you like Teddy.
Teddy from P4 is fantastic. He's a great fucking character, bro.
Pitched voice ass. Sounds annoying.
Nah, you gotta go
so
play
annoying.
it. Yeah, you gotta go play it. I don't want to hear it unless you play it. Teddy's fucking great. Anyways, yeah, man, I'm excited. I'm always down for more Persona. I'm always happy to see more Persona anything.
Ready to put 120 hours into the next installment.
What do we think we see? I mean, I think Persona 5 on Switch is pretty much dead right now. It's pretty hard to get. It seems pretty hard to get these main Persona games off of the PlayStation. They've kind of had it on lock forever. So I assume we're getting like, with the PC port to Persona 4 Golden seeing such success, I assume we're getting P3 to PC, maybe even P1 and 2. But those are less favorable games.
Yeah, yeah, it's very.
I assume we're getting P3, maybe Persona 5 Royal to Switch. Or, I'm sorry, to PC. I could see that, especially since PlayStation has clearly opened up the floodgates, or is beginning to open up the floodgates to its catalog, joining the PC one as well. I could see all of that working. But, I would really, like, the thing that would get me really fucking going and make me go, fuck, yes, let's fucking go, is some kind of, like, collection. Some, like, whether it's P3, 4, and 5, or whether it's, the P3 collection, or the Persona 4 collection, or the Persona 5 collection, something like that to really just be like, hey man, here's everything on one disc, like, you get the animes, you get the main game, you get the spin-off games for each one. And even if they're each separately, each $70, like, man, that's worth buying. That's a lot of content. And, it's all, and we're talking some of the greatest JRPGs of all time here, So, I don't know, I'm excited.
I'm happy to see what the next game is going to be like, because in 4 they had the village, the suburbs settings. I mean, they call it the boonies, or what is the word?
It's a small town. There's a farm town element to it. Yeah.
Yes, I forget what they usually call it in Japan. They refer to it as, but it went from that to the city. So Tokyo, I don't know where it's going to go next, setting wise, which interests me because I
personally, I like
where
the
they're
setting
go.
of Persona 4 more.
The more local.
I liked the small town feel of it. I liked seeing all these different characters and like, you saw, like, there were certain models you'd be like, oh, that's the guy who lives on the market street, and that's the guy who hangs out at the park, and that's the old man who hangs out by the lake, and it's all that. Whereas with Persona 5, I believe in Persona 5 at launch, it was just silhouettes, right? And then in P5 Royal, they, like, added some color to the silhouettes and, like, made them look like NPC models. Is that correct? Or am I off base? Am I misremembering?
I can't compare the two.
I fucking don't remember.
I'm capable of doing that.
I put 160 hours into this fucking franchise.
But that stuff you just ignore after a while.
Yeah, like, it's just set dressing, but, like, the expanse of Tokyo made it feel less personal. And that's kind of my critique about Persona 5 in general, is it just feels less personal. And I don't think the story is written as well. But that's beside the point. I mean, I can't argue that, like, the style is better, the music is better, the gameplay is, I think the gameplay is more of the same, but, like, with just, like, a couple more...
Enhanced.
Yeah, instead of rock, paper, scissors, it's rock, paper, scissors, lizard, Spock.
Yeah. So. That's a good way to put it.
Exactly. Same general idea, but yeah. Anyways. I'm going too long because I'm nerding out about Persona now. Connor, let's move on to our next topic. I'm going to call it my second penny of the day. And, Connor, it's a bit of a downer, but, I mean, this is to be expected in the modern age that we are in now.
Could be worse news.
Could be worse news, Could be worse.
Canceled.
But it could be cancels. It could be we're pushing it too hard, too quick. But anyways, so we've seen a series of delays this last week. First coming out was Ghostwire Tokyo, the Tango Work game. Made an announcement on Twitter. We've made the decision to delay the launch of Ghostwire Tokyo to early 2022. We want to get the game in your hands as soon as possible, so you can experience the unforgettable version of a haunted Tokyo that we've been hard at work building. At the same time, we're also focused on protecting the health of everyone at Tango. Our new release window will give us time to bring the world of Ghostwire to life as we've always envisioned it. Thank you for being patient as we work to bring you an experience unlike anything else we've ever made. We can't wait to show you more in the coming months. So unfortunate. Ghostwire Tokyo, I believe not very high on your list of, like, anticipation and stuff.
No. It seems like there's been some production problems, and I don't know what the direction is going to be like.
Yeah,
it's not. It's been jumbled.
It started high for me. As we've seen more from the game, it's lowered a little bit, but I'm still very much interested because of all the style it looks to have, and it seems to have switched from a horror game to more of an action-based game. Unfortunate for me because I like horror games more, but I still like the style and I still like what I see in it. So it's definitely I'm going to play it game. Take your time. Take your time. Yeah. I don't need a half-baked game when it comes out, because then that's just going to waste everybody's time, and everybody's going to be, upset and disheartened and stuff. So, make the best game you possibly can with the restrictions you have. And then other than that, Ubisoft has announced, a little bit of a wave of delays here. This one, a little more disappointing to me, specifically for one title. Ubisoft delays Rainbow Six Extraction Riders Republic once again. IGN article from Rebecca Valentine. Ubisoft has once again delayed both Rainbow Six Extraction and Riders Republic, with the former being moved to January 2022 and the latter to October 28th. In separate posts, the publisher attributed to the Extraction delay to the need, quote, to take additional time to bring this vision to life, end quote, while saying Riders Republic needed more, quote, more time to fine-tune the experience and give you another chance to jump in before launch and provide feedback. Both games have suffered delays already. Rainbow Six Extraction was initially announced at E3 2019 and was set for a 2020 release, but has since been pushed multiple times. Riders Republic was announced during the Ubisoft Forward event in September of 2020 and planned for launch the following February, but was later pushed to September 2nd. These games come as part of an ongoing trend of delaying games that Ubisoft has succumbed to in recent years. Back in 2019, Rainbow Six Quarantine's delay came alongside similar delays to Immortals Phoenix Rising and Watch Dogs Legion. More recently, Far Cry 6 got pushed ahead an entire fiscal year. Avatar, Frontiers of Pandora, got a delay into 2022, and Skull and Bones has been victim to numerous release window pushes after its initial announcement at E3 2017. Holy fuck. Oh my god, Skull and Bones, just cancel it already.
Yeah, it just can't get off its feet.
It can't, man.
It seems cool. I'll be the first to say it. It'll look cool, but
yo, man, if it's more just Assassin's Creed 4 Black Flag, but like without the like Assassin's Creed baggage and the bullshit that Assassin's Creed has, man, I would have been so fucking into it. But you've overstayed your welcome in my mind now, and I don't even have your game yet.
Here's what I'm gonna do.
Yeah,
I'm gonna make a bet.
Yeah?
With my mind.
Oh,
it's going to be a great game. It's going to come out and it's going to be like, oh my god, this is an amazing game.
Skull and Bones.
Yeah.
Put a number on it, like a ranking.
Okay. Like
or
8,
a score.
realistically.
You think it's going to be 8?
Like a very good game that people will enjoy a lot of. It's not going to be like.
I think it's a reasonable score.
I mean, like, it seems
and
to
that's
me...
the best case scenario, too.
It seems to me like the longer a game gets delayed, the more it just comes out with like, for the most part. Not always you're going to get a lot of delays.
It depends. There's been many great games that suffered from many delays. Last of Us Part 2, which, feelings about story or whatever aside, great game. Reaching for another one here. Uncharted 4. These Naughty Dog games sometimes get mad delays. God of War 2018 was victim of many, many delays. A lot of these PlayStation Studio games, they got delayed a lot. That's why they stopped giving dates so fervently.
Yeah, and that's just what video games do. And with the pandemic, this is like, and many other delays is not surprising at all.
Yeah. There's a lot of this where you just gotta kind of throw your hands up and be like, we're trying, but there's a lot of stuff in our way here. It's unfortunate for Riders Republic. I'm looking forward to playing around in that game for like a weekend. But September 2nd to October 28th, a month and a half, not a big deal.
Mm-hmm.
Rainbow Six Extraction wasn't really interested in to begin with, but it's unfortunate that it got pushed outside of this year. But we can, again, all of this can wait. Make the game the game it's supposed to be. Give it the love it needs. We don't need more Cyberpunks. We don't need more Fallout 76s. We don't need more Anthems.
Yeah.
We don't need these. Mass Effect Andromedas. We don't need these.
Just take your time.
Take your time. Make the game it's supposed to be. Connor. After that little bit of a little sad news. A little unfortunate.
Great news. Absolutely fantastic news. The best news I've gotten all week, personally.
I like it, but I don't like it that much. Okay. Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl is a Smash Bros. Alike featuring SpongeBob, TMNT, and more. IGN article from Joe Screbbles. IGN can exclusively announce Nickelodeon All-Star Brawl, a new fighting game featuring characters from SpongeBob SquarePants, Rugrats, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Ren and Stimpy, and more. The brawler, which looks to be similar to Super Smash Bros. In style, will come to PS5, PS4, Xbox Series X and S, Xbox One, and Nintendo Switch in fall 2021. It's being developed by Ludosity and Fair Play Labs and published by Game Mill Entertainment. Check out the reveal trailer below. We don't have a full list of characters just yet, but we know that the game will feature Michelangelo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Leonardo, Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, Nigel Thornberry, the Wild Thornberries, Powdered Toast Man, Ren and Stimpy, SpongeBob SquarePants, Sandy Cheeks, Patrick Star, also from SpongeBob SquarePants, Ablina, Real Monsters? The fuck is that?
Spencer knew about it, and I was like, okay, no clue what that is.
Yeah. Lucy Loud, The Loud House, Lincoln Loud, The Loud House, I don't know that one either.
New Nickelodeon show.
Okay. Helga, Hey Arnold, Reptar, Rugrats, Zim, Invader Zim, and Danny Phantom.
Yes.
All-Star Brawl will feature 20 levels based on Nickelodeon shows, including Jellyfish Fields from SpongeBob SquarePants and the Technodrome from Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles, and will include single-player and multiplayer modes with local and online support for up to 4 players. You'll also be able to unlock new moves for every fighter, as well as earn bonus content for an in-game gallery. Connor, so you watched the announcement trailer, yes?
Yes, I did.
It looked fun.
Now, my experience with any Smash Bros. Alike game is that it is not going to be fun, and it's going to be broken or bad or painful to play, but I'm getting this regardless.
Some OP characters and stuff.
Yes.
I mean, the worst, not the worst. The thing is that Smash Bros. Has this type of fighting game on lock. If you're going to do this type of fighting game, just be a Smash Brothers clone. Just do that. PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale, I respect that you tried to carve your own path. You tried to make, add something new to that type of fighting game. It didn't work.
It had the health-based system, didn't it?
No. It had a power meter based system in which, as you were fighting, you would build up a power meter, and that power meter had 3 different levels, 1, 2, and 3. And then you would do a super move. And the super move is the only thing that could kill opponents.
Besides falling off the map.
No. Well,
wasn't there? I thought there were map hazards.
Maybe, I don't know. Maybe
that can make you go into the negative.
But it wasn't a stock based game. It was all, well, I don't think it was stock. It's been years since I've played it.
Yeah, it's been a long time.
Anyways, and then level 1 had like a small hitbox, and level 2 had a bigger one, and then level 3, you motherfuckers had to get the fuck out the way.
Yeah.
Interesting in concept, didn't work, all the way. Also, with a lot of these brawler type games, they can come off really stiff. Which is a problem because Smash Bros. Is super fluid and super loose.
They've got it down to the science. They've
got the science down, man. And Smash Bros. Has had the monopoly on this type of fighting game since the beginning of the franchise. And as I look at this reveal trailer, it does look kind of loose and in that fluidity in moments, but there's also moments where I look at it and I go, that looks a little stiff.
Yeah.
Looks a little stiff. So,
not to mention...
If we can get in, because it's a Nickelodeon game, I'm not expecting the biggest budget, and also, these are the same guys who made the Kart Racer, and I remember the Kart Racer people not loving so much. But if we can get, 70% there, 80% there, the Nickelodeon nostalgia characters will carry you the rest of the way.
Regardless of how many skepticisms I have about this, one of them being the models don't all look that good, for certain characters, I'm going to play this game, and I hope that I can find some enjoyment in it, especially with kind of having a system...
They look that good?
What?
You don't think they look that good?
Some of them just... The moves, specifically, when they're doing...
Oh, okay, you're looking animations and stuff.
Animations, yeah. The base models are fine. I mean, it's more... They're going for obviously that more unanimous look to it, so not everyone has
it's a
their
little
own
more
style,
unified, it's a little more... Yeah.
Which you have to... Well, Smash Bros. was able to make it work for theirs, but, that's a tall order to fill, especially considering the budget it has. So you kind of have to condense it into the same style to make things work for most other games that are going to be like Smash Brothers. Mm-hmm. Like I said, I'm going to play it, no matter what skepticism I have.
I'm also going to play it.
Yeah. And I'm getting it for Switch as well.
Really?
Because portable. I'm going to play it with friends. I'm not going to play it with myself.
Yeah, you're right.
I'm not going to play
everybody's
in my room
got,
alone playing PS5.
This is the thing with Switch, is not everybody has the same games, but everybody's got a dock.
Everybody's got a dock.
So when I bring my Switch over, it's Super Mario Party time. Yep. And you bring the Switch to some Smash Brothers time. Somebody's got Mario Kart. Somebody's got tennis. Somebody's got something.
Yeah. And I'm gonna play it.
You got a good point. I was thinking get it for PlayStation just for shits and giggles because there's not a lot of multiplayer games I have on PlayStation. But I've got more controllers for Switch, so you make a good point here. So and it's a party game. The Switch is the party game machine. You make a good. You know what, Connor?
Sold.
You got a decent head on your shoulder.
I'm surprised this was coming out for the new gen consoles because I think who's gonna bite on this?
I don't think you can put out a new game and not have it everywhere right now. Clearly, it was built for last generation or current to last generation, whatever we want to call it right now. And so far, they haven't announced the full cast of characters, but so far they're hitting it right. I'm hearing lots of rumors about Aang and Korra. Korra, that's her name, right? Korra?
Korra, yes.
Yeah. Aang and Korra. I think it'd be a mistake to at least not have Aang.
Oh,
ridiculous.
There's even other characters you should be drawing from that show more.
You think like Zuko or something?
Zuko, Sokka. I'd like Sokka.
No, don't put Katara before Sokka.
Nah, I do Sokka.
Or
Aang can do the water bending. He can do the fire bending.
Aang can do it all!
So maybe just Sokka.
So can Korra!
But Sokka does not use bending. He uses sword skills.
Who cares?
The sword user, dude. I'd have to play him.
SpongeBob, Sandy, Patrick, that all makes sense.
Mr. Krabs, I would be surprised if he doesn't come in later.
Nah, he's not in there.
You don't want Mr. Krabs doing
No, I
think
three SpongeBob characters is enough.
It's enough, but do you think he's gonna
it's
put
enough.
him in?
It's enough. I want to see more Rugrats characters. I would like it if like the Rugrats themselves were like an ensemble group, like kind of like Pikmin.
Yeah.
Or Ice Climbers.
They also do have the them when they're in their high school days. They can go there.
No, don't do that. Danny Phantom. So happy he's there. That's an instant. Like he's like top 3 characters I'm choosing.
Yeah.
Like, just to try out immediately. Invader Zim. Another one I'm happy he's here. The Turtles. You got 2 of them. Put the other 2 in there. Where's
Go
Raphael?
all the way.
Where's
Go
Raphael?
all the way.
Where's Donatello? Where are they? Give us the 4. You know what? Fuck it. Give us Splinter too. Why not?
Splinter would be cool. I would prefer Shredder before Splinter. Splinter would be cool though.
Yeah, sure. But
there's stuff you can do.
Listen, you haven't announced they put the box out. Everybody's silhouetted. It looks like Cat Dog is on there. Ren and Stimpy have not been officially announced, but Ren and Stimpy are so clearly on the cover. And then there's a couple of ones that like everyone's like, I don't know what this silhouette could be. Fucking anybody.
Yeah.
But yeah. So far, you're hitting the right notes. Nintendo All-Stars Brawl. And that's, cast. That's something even PlayStation All-Stars Battle Royale. God, Jesus, what a mouthful. Nickelodeon All-Stars Brawl.
It's got the cast. You're right.
It's a long name still, but it's not too many, Battle Royale, you had too many syllables. Anyways. But, PlayStation All-Stars didn't have the cast. We had fucking Big Daddy. What? Big Daddy? From BioShock?
Weird, yeah.
It's an Xbox franchise.
The new Dante?
New Dante. Ooh.
They really pushed that.
Literally.
About that now.
No Solid Snake, Raiden, 2 versions of Cole McGrath. Ugh.
Yeah, actually.
Ugh. I mean, cool. You got Sly Cooper. You got
Kratos.
You got Kratos. You got Nathan Drake. All those guys make sense.
Yeah.
Ratchet and Clank. All that makes sense.
Raiden still made sense. He was my favorite.
Raiden still made sense, but it should have been Snake.
It should have. Yeah.
But Smash Brothers already had him. Killed that chance. And then there was just a couple of other ones that you're like, what? What?
The Bone Skull guy. The Skull guy.
Sir Arnold or something. I forget. Yeah, from Medieval. Like you just look at these characters, you go, are these guys really it? These aren't the selections. Anyways, but yeah, so far from what they've announced, these are the ones I want to see. These are the ones I want to see. There's a couple of ones that I still want to. Aang specifically. You got to give me some Aang.
Yeah.
That's a big point for me.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't have Aang, what the fuck are you doing? But you got your SpongeBob's, you got some Ninja Turtles, you got Danny Phantom, and you got Invader Zim. Sure, give me. Here's $60. Let me see what you got.
Yeah.
You got interesting little tidbit. You can unlock moves as you play along. That seems interesting.
Which that might be the point where it's like, okay, you're overstepping the bounds of what Smash Bros. Is already established.
Of what a brawler game should be, exactly. Like, to where, like, okay, so a level 1 character is just shit? Like, is it just a shit, like, you have to get your teeth kicked in for a number of rounds before you can start using a character well?
Yeah.
Or is it, like, more Mortal Kombat based, where, like, oh, it's different fighting styles.
Yeah.
And then you get it that way. So, like, each fighting style is good on its own. And then you can just unlock more where it just switches things up a little bit. That would work. I could see that. That would add something to the Smash, genre that, like, we haven't seen. That would be, beneficial. Because then, you get into a fight with somebody and you have a general idea of what you're going up against, but you're not 100% sure what you're going up against.
Yeah.
Multiplayer modes, single player modes.
Subspace Emissary Part 2.
Listen, if there's a world to do it in, it's Nickelodeon characters, man.
Yep.
This world
loved
matters.
crossovers back when I was a kid watching that. I would always see crossovers.
Exactly. Oh, Timmy Turner. Where's Timmy Turner?
That's gonna look freaky though. But yeah, where is he?
We gotta have Timmy Turner. Is Jimmy Neutron in there? Give me some Jimmy Neutron, man.
There's a lot of. Maybe we'll come with character packs like Smash Bros.
I'll buy a Jimmy Neutron DLC. Yes, I will.
Maybe be a little bit cheaper, but yeah, who knows?
$5, $10. I'll buy a pack.
$10 for Jimmy Neutron.
Oh, it's got to be more than Jimmy. Give me like 3 characters for 10. Okay. Something. Or like some more stages or something. Have something there. This is exciting. I'm excited. This hits a piece of nerd like nostalgia that I didn't think I had. It's like a thing where it's like I didn't know I wanted this until you told me you were making it. And now I want it. I love things like that.
Yeah,
Connor,
that seems to be.
That is it
for the news.
That's it for the news, buddy. We did it.
Pretty good news week
right there. So let's go ahead and jump into our little segment called "What We've Been Playing."
So, I'll just go first since it's the same as last week, and I don't want to go too deep into it yet. Played solely Mass Effect 3. I'm trying to chug along and get through that game.
Fantastic.
I'm at the end game, so I'm at the point of no return.
Where are you? You're at the point of no return. You did the DLCs?
Yes, did the DLCs.
Good boy.
Well, I have a couple, like I told you before, have a couple extra Citadel DLC stuff, which, by the way...
Just a little side stuff you got to do in there.
Great DLC.
Amazing DLC.
Obviously, if you're not if you've been playing through the Mass Effect games and you don't really care for a lot of the characters or anything that you've been through, which I wouldn't think is that many people, if they've gotten all the way to 3.
Kind of the point of the game.
Yeah. So, anybody who's a fan of Mass Effect to any degree will enjoy that game, just because it has so many character interactions that you haven't had to happen yet, or happen in a long while.
There are moments in that DLC you didn't know you wanted until it happened.
Exactly.
And then when it happened, you freaked the fuck out.
It even had a better style than Mass Effect usually has, that I honestly wish was, more implemented into the base game. Like, for example,
I'll say Citadel, pretty fan servicey.
Oh, very, very, very
super fan. Like, not the best like penmanship of Mass Effect moments, but fucking the fan service makes up for it, bro. Yes. It's really good.
it does help it to make it feel like, you did do those things.
Yeah.
And this is them having an impact on the characters even after they've already happened.
There's also, I feel, the one thing that makes this DLC unique is it feels like almost a small game in itself.
It does.
And, it is a complete side story, and the most optimal time to play it does derail the main story in terms of pacing. But when you do play it, and you just get into it, and you're loving it, and you're in on that adventure, like, there's things you can miss.
Yeah.
Like, there's, like, did you pick up, there's a location in that game, I'll call it the archive location, or whatever. There's a gun in that. Did you pick up that gun?
Yeah, I did pick up the gun.
Yeah, baby. That gun is fucking dope. I love that gun.
Oh, is it the
one with the Lancer?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Is
baby.
it good? Is it really good?
Oh, dude, I love it.
Because I use the Cerberus Harrier, which is
especially if you upgrade it, bro.
I'll try it out.
Unbeatable.
Huh. Okay, I'll try that out
fucking
then.
Great gun. Anyways, yeah, I love the Citadel DLC.
I'm gonna be honest.
Yeah.
The story itself is disconnected from the Reapers.
Yes.
It's disconnected from Cerberus.
Oh, it's a complete side story. Like, it's clear BioWare let their hair down.
Yes. Honestly, I would have preferred in the Mass Effect series as a whole, we saw more of that.
Just full on, like, just let's go off and do
missions
different things.
with crazy stuff going on.
I mean, they played around with stuff like that in 2.
It did do that in 2, but even then, it still was always feeding into the main overall plot all the time.
Yeah,
in a way,
something had the Reapers were coming or something, and the Geth and something else. It
was all centered around that.
Whereas this one almost solely has nothing to do with anything of the galactic conflicts. It's straight up just about, Shepard and his or her crew.
Yeah, I just wish there was more content like that sprinkled out throughout all the games. But despite that, I loved this one. Had a great time with it.
It should have, we could have with these spin-off titles, and I hope this new sequel has something new to give us. I hope it launches something interesting and, just as enthralling as that original trilogy was. But
yeah, I hope so too.
Who knows, man? That's a hard bar to reach. It's a hard bar to reach, and I don't know. I feel like no matter what this next Mass Effect game comes out, even if it comes out and it's really good, it'll never meet that bar of the trilogy until we're like a couple games deeper. You know?
Uh-huh.
Like, say if this new game launches a new trilogy, it won't be until we're at the end of that trilogy that we can look back at this Mass Effect 4/5, however you want to count them, and be like, oh, that game was actually excellent.
Yeah.
You know?
It's a very, very good series. It's a good
It's
way
almost like episode 7. You know? It's actually exactly like episode 7. Where, like, you need to come back.
I see.
You need to come back and remind people what we loved about Star Wars.
Uh-huh.
You know, and you need to give us a fun, great story. But its level of fan admiration is entirely dependent upon how you end that story. You know, and if you don't end that story well, then it blows back, and then that new Mass Effect game doesn't work.
Right.
You know? Anyways. So happy that you're closing in on the end of Mass Effect 3. How are you feeling about your journey so far?
I would have to say it might be the best Mass Effect game so far.
Man, it's really fucking
okay. Now the ending.
Listen, man.
The end.
All right,
everything
fuck
is
off with your
surrounding
last.
around
Fuck
that.
off with your last 15 minutes,
But that
man.
encapsulates the entire series,
Connor,
dude.
you've
the
been
events
playing
of
for
3.
30 hours and having the best time of your life.
No, I know. I'm going to love the game regardless. I'm just saying, in terms of placement of Mass Effect games, that is going to be a factor.
Dude, but the first 6 hours of Mass Effect 2 are boring as shit.
They're not boring.
They're
I like
boring.
them. They're not boring.
Nothing is interesting in Mass Effect 2 until Horizon.
For someone like you who played them so much,
Boring.
continuously over and over and over again,
I don't feel that way about either of the other games.
Maybe
1 and 2, I love front to back.
My point, though, is that maybe that negative aspect isn't imprinted on me as much from playing it the first time in 8 years. So I can't.
Leviathan also helps a lot.
Leviathan does help, not as much as I thought it was going to be.
No spoilers, but Leviathan helps a lot.
Yeah, it was an interesting DLC.
Yeah,
very well presented, but
I like the tone. I like it's sort of a mystery thing going on. You're piecing things together.
Connecting the dots.
Interesting enough to string you along for however long that was. What, 2 hours, 3 hours?
Yeah, about 3 hours.
Yeah, long DLCs.
They're all long DLCs.
All
Omega
long.
was, Citadel was.
Yeah,
Citadel
by far the longest.
Is it the longest?
Oh, dude, you could probably break 6 hours of content in there.
Oh, I guess content overall it is the longest.
Yeah.
It's just the single playthroughs of that with only seeing the things that you choose one time, I would say it's not. Because Omega DLC seemed very, very long.
I mean, you just can't get into spoilers, but
you can't.
There's two main sections of the Citadel DLC. That first section, probably 2 hours. But you're not playing Citadel if you don't play both sections. You know what I mean?
No.
And that second section, that can take you some time.
That's true. It has tons of content packed in there, more than I thought there would be.
Tons of content. Anyways, so happy that you're enjoying Mass Effect 3, Connor. Mm-hmm. That's all you've been playing this week?
All I've been playing.
All right. Well, I haven't been playing much else either. Update from last week, I finished God of War 3.
You finished it?
Yeah, I finished it. I was at the final boss last week.
Yeah.
And it's a good boss. It's a hard boss.
Take him any more tries since going back to it?
It took me a few more, but I went in with a strategy this time.
Okay. Yeah.
And that strategy worked. So yeah, it still took me a few more tries, and then there's multiple phases that I wasn't prepared for, and but the hardest phase is the first phase. Once you pass the first phase, you're making it to the end.
Okay.
Easy. But yeah, God of War 3 is a great game, man. It feels good. It still feels so good to play.
I bet.
Still feels great to play.
So, I'm sorry. I saw some videos on this recently, since you're just saying that. Dead Space 2 plays amazingly. For a current gen. I don't know if I stressed that before.
Dead Space 2?
I had recently. Yeah.
Why, are people going back saying Dead Space 2 doesn't play well?
No, it plays amazingly.
Oh.
People are saying it plays like a new game.
It's all this remake news. Everyone's doing their retrospective videos.
Yeah. Just a little side note that was in my mind this past week.
Which is weird, because is Dead Space old enough for nostalgia now? I don't know if it is.
I mean, Mass Effect was, apparently.
Yeah, that's true. Good point.
But I feel like the impact of Mass Effect is greater than Dead Space. Yeah.
Greater than Dead Space.
Now, Dead Space did do a lot for the horror genre.
We kept it alive.
You kept it alive. But that's one genre as opposed to a medium of storytelling of where we're going to continuously bring your choices into the next installments of games, which really was new at the time.
So clearly, God of War 3 was not the only game I played this week, because it was an hour.
Yeah.
I beat it in an hour, and I'm a gamer. All right, I play more.
You had to play more.
I did dive in. Me and the homies are diving into some Splinter Cell Blacklist on PC. But apparently we're having server trouble now. I haven't played it in a couple days, but we're having server trouble now, so now it seems like maybe that fun will come to an end. I was having a good time, man. Blacklist is a good game. Controls like shit on PC.
Oh, it does?
And I'm desperately trying to get my controllers to work, but I think I gotta go in, I gotta dig out an Xbox controller or something because it wasn't built, like, you know, and PlayStation controllers have always, you know, given issues or whatever, so I think I need to go and dig out my Xbox One controller or something and figure that out. And Blacklist specifically on PC for whatever reason was not built for controllers in mind, and you gotta like do some workarounds or whatever. It's bullshit. But it just controls so terribly on mouse and keyboard.
Now, I did buy that game. So, Xbox One controller?
I would assume, yeah. Yeah, because Phil was saying that he plugged it right in and had no problems.
Okay, then if I play it, I'll be fine too.
Controls like shit on keyboard, I think.
I thought it seemed like it would. It really did.
Dude, so, I mean, you know, you've played. It's a stealth game. And then, you know, you do your classic, like, sprinting and running around, and then you're, like, your crouched stuff and stuff.
Yep.
But in that game, crouched doesn't mean silent. Like, there's 3 speeds you can go. It's like walking, running, and then sprinting. Obviously, sprinting, you're making the most noise. Running, you're making quite a bit of noise. And running is like you're just pushing on the stick fully.
Yeah.
And then walking, you're like halfway pushing on a stick. And on a stick, all that makes sense. But on keyboard, it's impossible. It's on and off. So they have a toggle button for crouching and standing. And they have another toggle button for running and walking.
Too many buttons.
Too many buttons. And it's too confusing, and I don't know where I'm at. And you don't make any noise when you're climbing on shit. But the toggle still works on when you're climbing on shit. So you are climbing at half speed if you're on walk mode, and you gotta hit the. It's too much.
That's weird, yeah.
And it's like with the camera placement, because obviously like your WASD are less dynamic than your analog stick. Sometimes I'll be clicking right, and the game thinks I want to go diagonally down right because of where I have the camera placed, and I don't. I just want to go right. And so, like, we played a couple of Spies vs. Mercs games, and it fucked me up. Like, it really got me fucked. So it's like, next time I play this, I have to play with a controller, man, because I'm good at this game. I remember being excellent at this game.
You were.
And I'm trash right now, it's 100% because of the keyboard. And I can't do it.
I might have an Xbox One controller around. I'll go check.
Shit, don't you?
I don't know.
Don't you have an Xbox One sitting in your
Yes, I do. Which, I know I have a controller for me. I'm saying for you.
Oh, I have one.
Oh, you do?
Yeah, it's sitting under the bed.
Oh.
I have an Xbox One.
Oh, when you said dig around, I thought you meant like find where it was. You don't know where it is. Okay.
It's right under there. I just gotta go pull it out. I gotta pull a bunch of shit out though, because it's.
Okay.
I mean, you know this.
Yeah.
But I've stuffed a bunch of shit under my bed.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Yeah. I just gotta pull it out.
But any other games beyond Blacklist and God of War?
Off of God of War 3. I had to, man. I had to, okay?
God of War 2018.
I'm playing God of War 2018, man. I'm about 10 hours in, man. This game is fucking good.
Okay, that's understandable, though. I would play 3 and then be like, well, I gotta play the next game.
It's good, bro. It's so fucking good.
I never played God of War 3. I know what happens in it. Did it contextualize certain things in God of War 2018 better now that you played that just recently?
I mean, if you remember, there are quasi-flashback sequences in God of War 2018.
Which you obviously remember.
Which obviously are moments you play through in God of War 3. So yeah, that helps a little more. I think mostly just having context of what Kratos used to be and what God of War used to be helps you contextualize this new game. And even with Atreus, you see so much of old Kratos in Atreus.
About being brash, being more violent,
brash and angry, and quick to lose control. Like, you see a lot of that, and then to see Kratos much more
wiser, older now.
Yeah, and like he's much more tempered now. Like it's fascinating to see that character growth.
And I'm guessing those points of Atreus' character really help give reason as to why Kratos does not like gods and why he has that issue with his son, because he's displaying things that he has grown to regret about his own life. Yeah, that is a very interesting way to see the game played now.
Dude, it's so good. And on top of that, like my biggest issue with God of War 2018 is that they do that thing where like there are moves that are necessary for the game to play well that you have to unlock.
Okay.
So like things like you're sprinting and you run towards a group of enemies and you hit the attack button. And instead of doing like a sprint attack, which would feel natural, you have to unlock that ability. And it's like, fuck, man, like, that's
I completely
annoying.
forgot about that stuff.
Or the counter move. You know, you can parry with the you can block and then you can parry with the shield if you time it right.
Yeah.
But you can't capitalize off of that parry.
Like until later.
Until later. So there's a couple of things I'm like, fuck, man, like, why don't I have this from the jump? And I understand you have to introduce combat mechanics to me slowly and, like, you know, kind of breadcrumb them to me, but it's like, you could do it a little faster, game. You could do it a little faster.
Yeah. Pacing is really...
Exactly.
Well, you kind of messed up with that.
But, I mean, the technical achievement that is God of War is still there. Like, it's still, like, you know, the character drama is still there. The great, amusing characters are still amusing and entertaining, you know, and, you know, their dynamics between each other, the conflict between characters is still interesting. The one-take camera is still fun to, like, kind of, like, think about. Like, when you think about it from a technical perspective, like, how the fuck did you do that? Oh, that's how you did it. Okay, kind of cool. Playing on PS5, the game didn't get a PS5 upgrade, but they did update it to have a couple of things. So, like, now it runs at 60 FPS and 4K? Question mark? Maybe it's like a up-res 4K or something. And loading is faster.
Okay.
Like,
That's
there's that
good.
fast travel system in the original game, which is terrible. I think everyone is like, yeah, the fast travel in this game fucking sucks. It still sucks, but it's less sucky.
Yeah, kind of like Bloodborne. Well, Bloodborne's still not that good. Just it got
load
update.
times and stuff, yeah. So you know, and then the 60, it's buttery smooth, baby.
Yeah,
Buttery smooth.
If I do, I will play that game again, especially when the next one gets a release date.
Yeah, you got to remind yourself of all the moments that happen and so forth. Yeah.
And in that case, I'll hopefully have a PS5 by then. I put that off for hold for a little bit. Since the effect of not having Final Fantasy VII Intergrade has passed, so I'm like, okay, I can wait. No other games right now for a while.
Been spoiled on Intergrade?
No, nothing. Actually,
I haven't played it yet. I hear there's a big thing at the end.
Yeah, I've heard there is too. I've avoided all of it.
Nice.
Stayed off of it. So
nice.
You know, PS5. I'll get to you. I'll get to you soon.
I'll get to you. I'll get you.
Yeah, I'll get you. Yeah.
Anyways, other than that, you know, great games are still great games. Who would have known?
No.
Did we play anything new this week? No.
Did
anything new come out this week? I mean, Skyward Sword, but, like, you know.
Apparently it plays better than the original did.
Well, they put in a secondary option to where, like, you could turn the motion controls off.
Yeah, which people say is better, from what I've heard.
Sure. Yeah. I think it's like a thing, if I understand, because a guy I work with was playing, and he's like, yeah, it's like you basically like use Z-Lock, but you can't turn the camera anymore, because now your stick is now, like, the angle at which you swing your stick is the angle in which Link swings his sword, which makes sense.
Yeah,
okay.
yeah.
Like,
right.
that's how I would make it, too, if the game is what it was, and then, you know, you had to, you know, redo it and, you know, make it better, that's how I would do it, too. So yeah, I mean, I'll probably be playing Skyward Sword for the first time this next week because I'm going on a trip and I'm bringing like my Switch and my computer, and that's probably
computer.
About it.
Oh, yeah. Laptop.
Yeah.
I always forget about that.
It's like only what you look at every week.
I know. I always think there's like a computer attached to it that I'm just not seeing. I'm like, wait, what? You bring the whole thing?
But I mean, like PS5 is too bulky. You can't put that in a bag.
No, you cannot.
That's its own bag. It gets
put
its
it in
own
a duffel bag.
Yeah, I'm using the duffel bag for clothes. I can't put that in a backpack.
No.
I can put the PS4 in a backpack.
Barely. Well,
but I can put it in a backpack.
Yeah.
That's not going in a backpack. Anyways, to just, you know,
have fun with Skyward Sword, I guess.
I don't know. Maybe I'll be, you know, I might play something else. Who knows?
If you say it's better than Breath of the Wild, though, we're gonna have an issue.
Well, Connor. No, I'm playing. You know, I'll probably bring my Vita too because I've got. We talked about it off stream. I tweeted about it. I got a Metal Gear itch, man. I got a Metal Gear itch.
Just play Skyward Sword.
But I've got a Metal Gear itch, Connor.
Never mind. You know what? Never mind. Okay.
Anyways,
Bless you.
That is going to do it for your Two Penny Gamescast, episode 52. Thank you so much if you've been listening from the beginning, for sticking around for a full year. If you jumped on at some point during that year, thank you for joining us. Hope you stick around for the next year.
Yeah, thanks for wasting your time.
No. We were supposed to have an After the Hype for Crash Bandicoot this week, but we'll probably just record it next week, I'll be honest.
You're too busy.
I'm a little busy, man. I got some stuff to do after I upload the show and stuff. You know, I gotta, you know, I'm doing some stuff.
Yeah.
So, you know, so check back next week. I'll probably have an After the Hype up for next week. I don't think my opinions will change.
Probably not.
You know, probably not. And it, you know, it's not like oh man, I'm struggling to remember things it's Crash Bandicoot. Come on.
It's pretty simple.
It's pretty simple. Anyways, I forgot to pitch it at the beginning, but it's probably because we're not playing this week because I'm out of town. But you can watch us play games live at twitch.tv/2pennygames. Hype is our show. Have you ever played? in which me and my buddy Phil, we pass the controller back and forth and show each other games that the other one has never played before. For example, he played he played the first 3 Metal Gear Solid games. I've played Kingdom Hearts 1 and 2, Gears of War, Spyro 1, and now Crash 1. He's currently on his way through Mass Effect Trilogy. You can go and see our After the Hype, which is our review show for Hype Game of Mass Effect 2. Warning though, the audio is fucked. It's my fault. I fucked up. But, it's still there. You can still kind of hear it. There's just a lot of echo, and it's really annoying to listen to.
Uh-huh.
So, but it's up there. It's on its own little thing. But you can, check Mass Effect 1. We'll do Mass Effect 3, of course, when we get through that in a few weeks. It's going to take a few weeks.
Yeah.
It's gonna,
Get ready.
3's a big game.
42 hours is my current time right now.
Fuck, dude.
Now, okay, I'll tell you later off.
Okay. Yeah, I'll tell you. Okay. Anyways, but until then, you can get us YouTube, SoundCloud, Spotify, Google Podcast, Apple Podcast. Another thing I forgot to fucking mention at the top. I fucking suck at my job, bro. I suck. I'm trash. Fire me.
I think you were busy talking about Phil Spencer. That's justifiable, I guess.
Anyways, until next week, episode 53, that is. Say goodbye to the people, Connor.
Says, hey,